My name is Mary. I am 34 years old. My voice was always small next to him, not small in volume, small in permission. I wasn't allowed to use it the way I wanted. I learned to speak softly, to apologize before I even understood why, to lower my tone when he raised his, to justify things I hadn't done, just to avoid the storm that always came afterward. Little by little, my voice stopped being mine. It became his instrument, a reflection of the mood of the house, an echo of fear, and in the end, it became silence. I truly believed, really believed, that it had died. That the part of me that knew how to stand her ground, that knew how to say no, that knew how to exist without asking permission, had been buried there between walls that knew more about me than I did. But that day, after his gaze lost its power, something happened that took me a while to understand. My voice came back, not as a scream, not as rebellion, not as an impulsive outburst. It came back the way all true things return, slowly, but impossible to stop. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, still feeling the echo of what had happened in the kitchen. The silence of the house felt different, no longer his weapon, but a space where I could finally hear myself. And that's when it appeared. First, as a clear thought, much clearer than the ones I used to have. Then as an inner whisper. And finally, as a sentence I heard inside myself with a strength I didn't expect. I don't need to be afraid anymore. It was so simple, so short, so mine. I didn't say it out loud, not yet. My body wasn't ready for that, but I heard it. And hearing it was enough to make me realize my voice hadn't died. It had only hidden itself to survive. It grew small because it had to. It fell silent because if it hadn't, I wouldn't still be here. My voice was my own protection. And now it was coming back to rescue me. I stood up slowly, as if I might scare that newly awakened voice. I walked to the mirror. I looked at myself. And it was strange. I looked the same, but I wasn't. My eyes had a different light. My mouth, even closed, felt firmer. My face felt more whole. It was as if I were meeting a version of myself I hadn't seen in so long that I'd forgotten what she looked like. I ran my fingers over my own lips, touched them the way you touch an old instrument, trying to remember how it works. And for the first time in a very long while, I dared to speak, softly, almost inaudible, but real. I exist. The words came out trembling, but they came out. And when I heard them echo faintly through the room, I felt something inside me align, like a bone slipping back into place after years out of joint. And in that same moment, I heard the sound of the gate outside. He was coming home. Every automatic reflex tried to drag me back into obedience. My heart raced, my hands went cold, my legs trembled. But my voice, that newly reborn voice, spoke again inside me. Don't shrink. And I didn't. I stood still in the middle of the bedroom when I heard the front door slam. I stayed where I was when he called my name with that arrogance that had always made my body fold. And for the first time, I answered without lowering my eyes, without rushing, without trying to predict the explosion. My voice didn't shake. It wasn't loud. It wasn't defiant. It was clean. What is it? I said. He stopped in the hallway. I heard it. He hesitated. And that small silence, that single second when he didn't know how to react, was worth more than every argument he had ever created. Because in that moment I realized he didn't know how to deal with my voice. He only knew how to deal with my silence. And now he had lost that control. He turned away, muttered something, and left the room. And I stayed there, feeling the dust of that new sensation settle, light but real. My voice was alive, and alive inside me. It had never been weak. I was the one who had to hide it in order to exist. But now it would grow. I knew it would. It would grow until it filled every empty space fear had occupied for years. And in that moment, that simple moment, I understood. His fear no longer ruled me, because my voice had come back to take its place. If this chapter resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and become part of a notebook of courage. Your voice belongs here. And don't miss the next video in the next series, where this journey continues from reclaimed voice to the irreversible path of freedom.